The Capital One Venture X credit card, honestly, one of the best credit cards right now. So what we're going to do in today's video is I'll walk you through the benefits of the card, and then I'll talk about who I think this card is for. The short answer, almost anybody if you do any amount of travel. So with that said, let's hop on the computer and go through the benefits. Okay, so here we are at Capital One's Venture X page. If you scroll down a little bit further, the first thing you're going to see is the welcome bonus. So if you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months, you get 75,000 miles. A little bit later on, I'll tell you about how much those miles are worth, but just bear with me for right now. And then each anniversary, you're going to get an additional 10,000 miles. So every time you pay the annual fee, so that is $395 per year. But also later on in the video, I'll tell you about how easy it is to get the annual fee paid for by the value you get from this card. Speaking of the annual value you get from this card, you get a $300 travel credit. So if you spend money on Capital One's travel portal, you'll essentially get the first $300 reimbursed every single year with this card. Then you get up to a $100 credit for either global entry or TSA PreCheck. So global entry costs $100 every 5 years, and TSA PreCheck is $85. So if you take that value divided by 5 years, you either get $20 or $17 of value per year. So if you're traveling a lot, this can save you some time at airports. Scrolling down further, you can see the annual fee that I mentioned of $395. Here's the potential interest rates. I would recommend paying the card off each month, but that's what you'd be charged if you carry a balance. And it's expected that you have excellent credit. So something in the 700s, I would say, if you want to apply for this card. Now scrolling down further, here's how you're going to be compensated for spending on this card. So one of the major benefits of this card is you get 2 miles for every dollar spent on anything that you purchase. So doesn't matter the category, 2x miles. Then if you book through Capital One's travel portal, you get 10x miles for hotels and car rentals and 5x for flights booked on the portal. So the main reason for this is the 2x points on anything. And then if you purchase anything travel related through Capital One's portal, you can get 5 or 10x miles. Scrolling down further, lounge access. So Capital One has 1 lounge right now. There's 2 more that should be opening this year, and I'm sure there's a bunch of others that they're planning on opening, but the benefit here is really their partner lounges. So you get access to Priority Pass and Plaza Premium. You can bring 2 guests with you. And as we scroll down further, one of the other big benefits, if we move down right here, is free additional card holders. You could get 4 other people your Capital One Venture X card. They can also get Priority Pass or Plaza Premium. They can bring guests as well. So you could essentially show up with a dozen people at a lounge because they all have your Venture X card and Priority Pass. They bring guests. So here's a benefit that for other kind of similar cards, you would need to pay an additional fee to have additional card holders. So if you have a big family or a bunch of friends you want to travel with, this is kind of an interesting option for me. There's no foreign transaction fees. You have cell phone protection. It's really easy to redeem your miles. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. But let's get through the other benefits. So you get Hertz's President Circle, so you'll get upgrades and other benefits with car rentals with Hertz. Also, you get 10x miles booking with Turo through May 2023. Now let's talk a little bit about how much the miles are worth. So there's really easy ways to redeem your miles for a penny per mile. So the welcome bonus of 75,000 is worth $750. The annual 10,000 is worth $100. How you can get this value is by erasing travel purchases that you already made with your Capital One card, or to use it while you're booking travel through the Capital One portal. Also, you can get gift cards that are worth 1 penny per mile. Let me run you through a super quick example how booking travel just once through Capital One's travel portal, you can more than get enough value to pay for the annual fee. So you pay the $395, you get a 10,000 mile bonus each year. You can then go to the travel portal and they'll give you the option to use your miles to pay for travel. So those 10,000 miles will reduce the price by $100. So that's the first bit of value. Then when the transaction goes through, you get your statement. You're also going to have a statement credit for travel through the Capital One portal of $300. So that's $400 in value. You only paid $395. You're already making $5 per year just booking travel once and having this card. Let's talk about now how you can earn more than 1 cent per mile by transferring to their travel partners. Here's a list of all their travel partners, but some are better than others. So I'm going to put down below an article from the Points Guy that breaks them down into buckets from the good, the okay, and the not so good option for travel partners. Here's a list of some of their favorite options, such as Turkish Airlines, Avianca, and Air Canada. The points guide values Capital One miles at 1.85 cents, which is almost double what we were talking about earlier of redeeming it for just 1 cent. So if you're willing to put a little bit of work in, the 75,000 miles for the welcome bonus would be worth $1,388 instead of $750, valuing it at 1 cent. And the 10,000 miles you get as an anniversary bonus would be worth $185 instead of $100. And you're getting all of that value without regular use of the card. If you're using it for travel purchases and just everyday spending, obviously you're going to have more miles and more value that you're earning each and every year from this card. So who's this card for? Well, first of all, if you want a super simple setup, one credit card for all of your spending, I think this is probably the best option, because if you have a 2% cash back card like the SoFi card or any of the other similar cards, you're earning 2% cash back, and that's the maximum you're going to be earning. With the Capital One Venture X card, you're earning 2 miles per dollar spent. And if you take the points guys valuation of 1.85 cents per mile, that means you're earning 3.7% as opposed to just 2% cash back. Plus, you have all the other perks that we previously talked about, plus 5 and 10x miles when purchasing travel through Capital One. If you travel and are looking for lounge access, this is probably the cheapest way to get it, because with the card I already showed you, you're getting more value than the annual fee. So for free, you're getting access to the lounges, plus the additional card holders. You could get a bunch of people into lounges and there's no cost to you. With the Amex Platinum or Chase Sapphire Reserve, other cards that give you lounge access, the annual fee is much, much higher, and the annual value you get from the cards is lower or harder to redeem. So you're essentially paying something to have lounge access, versus this, you're already getting additional value above the annual fee and getting a bunch of people into lounges. This card is also really good for people that have more complex setups where they use a bunch of different credit cards to earn high points, miles, or cash back in different categories. And they use this card for non-category spending. So as I said earlier, this could be better than using just a 2% cash back card, because you can easily earn 2% cash back if you erase a purchase from Lyft or Uber or something like that to earn the 2%. But then if you transfer it to travel partners, you're going to get an even higher value. If you take the points guys evaluation, you'd be earning 3.7% with the Venture X for everyday non-category spending versus just 2% cash back with something like the SoFi card. The two cards that Capital One Venture X is most commonly compared to is the Amex Platinum and the Chase Sapphire Reserve. If you want to see my comparison of those three cards, check out this video above. And if you want to see how the Venture X compares to the Venture and Venture One card, check out the video below. Hope to see you in another video. Bye.